Hello everyone. So my RDP, my research design project is on focus on if students using a personal mobile device in class or in the secondary school, and should we have the restriction on a cell phone? Will that help for the student focus, or will allowing students using the cell phone will increase their engagement in the class? So in my project, we will talk about the beneficial and the issue of cell phone in education, and also how can we do the integration, or should we restrict using the cell phone? Right. So the research question is, what is the correlation between restricting the use of student personal device and student engagement in secondary school? Right. So in most schools, they have the cell phone policy. The reason why, because the students, many of them have an issue with a personal mobile device in the classroom. The biggest issue will be distraction. Sometimes the students just using cell phone, they constantly checking their phone. They shopping, they in social media, or they just simply want to check the text message. And if the one cell phone goes off, then it will be the big disruption of the learning environment, and it will distract everyone around one particular student. And one of the other major issue of cell phone will be students can use their cell phone to take a picture or to record the question or the answer in the assessment, and then they post it in the social media. So we say the academic dishonesty. And if the teacher or any educator interested to use a cell phone in their lesson, then we have an issue with firewall, we have an issue with the school policy, accessibility, like sometimes the Wi-Fi is not supported, or some other technical limitation that it prevent the teacher, even though if they want to use a cell phone for engaged student. Now, along with the issues, the cell phone also have a beneficial, and one of the major benefits of the personal mobile device in the classroom is the connection. Students feel the connect between the inside and outside classroom world. So they feel like whatever lesson that they have is not like limit in one of the room, one of four walls of the classroom. They can see the connection between the outside world. For example, one teacher, they using their mobile device, and then download the app like mobile map. So show the student that, hey, you can use a mobile map to see different shape, or to explore the different geometry shape, to learn geometry, so they can feel the connection. And next one is with the cell phone, students use it as the online tool. It's very compatible, so students can carry their device everywhere. And with some students, if we cannot restrict them, then we might as well teach them for the responsibility when and where they can use a cell phone. So students will be trained to be responsible, and they can have a self-control. When should they put their phone away? When should they pay attention? If they not putting their phone away, then what are the consequences? And one of the big things that I noticed is if students are allowed to use their cell phone as a learning tool, they feel more engaged because they can take charge of their own learning, the feeling of ownership, and the feeling of, hey, I have my own voice, I can use my own device to make it beneficial to my learning. And also students, sometimes some of the students who never talk or who feel like they shy speaking in front of class, they can use a cell phone to participate in the learning. Okay. So using the cell phone, they have the issues and they also bring the benefit. So really, educators and school leaders, they need to find a balance between restriction and the integration of personal mobile device. Should the rule put their cell phone away, outside, out by? Everyone need to put the cell phone up in the pocket or lock it up in the locker. Will that work better? Or you can use your cell phone as your own device as a learning tool. Is that better? So, like one of the picture, we might have to find a balance between distraction, like, hey, this time you're not allowed to use cell phone, or you use cell phone as interaction tool. So to build a connection, build relationship between the student and teacher. Also, let student do the interactive question or lesson through the cell phone. So for example, sometime in my statistics class, I let my students using the cell phone so they can interact in collecting the data. And they seem engaged, they seem very participate and very productive in the learning activity. However, in the summative assessment, for example, unit test, all of them have to put their phone away. If they not putting their phone away and still use it during the test, I would consider cheating because my data or my material, my test can be released outside classroom, and my test is no longer have a security. So therefore, I have to consider cheating, and because you not follow the rule. So technically, it depends on the class, depend on the policy. You have to find a balance between restriction and to integrate of the personal mobile device in education. Right? So I come up with the quick research design for my student. So my classroom I teach mainly seniors. So they almost 18, they almost graduate, almost be productive citizen for the society. So technically I'm trying to train them how to be responsible with their own device in learning and working. So the participant in my project will be 40 students in the class statistical reasoning, senior, 17, 18 years old. They divide into two different groups. In group 1, students are only allowed to utilize school provided device to work in their statistics project. Group 2, students are allowed to use their cell phone along with the school provided device to work on the same project as the group 1. All other rules or other procedure are the same for both groups. So after the student working in both groups, the teacher, during the whole time student working, the teacher will be able to observe and measure their project and to see if how students engage, if the end user project data, for example, the productive, the material, the engagement, the creative of the project between both groups, which one is better? And also the teacher will have a short survey for students and ask, hey, do you feel productive? Do you feel like all of your teammates or of your members in your group, they work in the group of 1 or 2, individually or the group of 2, like all of your team or productive contribute, or how everyone contribute to the group project, or everyone on their own device and not talking together. So there will be the response student as well for their preference. Right? Well, that is my research design, and the teacher will collect the data and see if the cell phone will be the big distraction or should it be the learning tool to engage students. Well, that is my research design project. Thank you for your time and thank you for willing to listen.